Hey YouTube, how's it going? This is a little bit of a different format. Usually I do an intro before the video, and this time we're just doing the intro while we're inside the video. Today's video is going to be a two-parter. We have two clear goals that we are going for. The first goal is actually getting giant bee honey unlocked. So I've actually already gotten one of the bees. I was not going to get a second bee, but then it occurred to me that it'd probably be best to show that in a video so other people can see how I do it, just in case that helps them get their own bee. I don't know if that's something that people need or not, but we're going to get a second bee anyway. I've already found the beehive, so we can just hop over right and get that. And as soon as we have the bee and we get the rest of our kibble situation figured out, which, just so we're clear, we're going overkill on kibble anyway. As soon as we get that figured out, we're going to go out and get a Styracosaurus, which I'll explain after we've gotten the bee. So for now, let's focus on the bee. Alright, so first thing that I made sure to do at the beginning of this was to get appropriate armor for said bee. You want ghillie just because it helps you avoid being detected by the bee. It's like part one of what you're going to need for this. Part two of what you're going to need for the bee is bug repellent. Once you have the bug repellent and you have the ghillie suit, the only other thing that you need is a rare flower. I have not found any bees yet that take more than one flower. I've gotten a few at this point. They're all level 5. They seem to always be level 5, and they seem to always just want one single rare flower. So make sure you have that in your inventory. Once you've done that, you're going to want to find your beehive. Where's your beehive on Scorched Earth? It's over here in this canyon. Took me a while to find it. I wasn't sure what all the online resources were referring to until I finally just looked at the resource map and just saw where all the dots were coming down. And I was still confused until I flew into this canyon, and now it makes sense. So the only place on this map that I'm aware of, I could be entirely wrong, but all the resources seem to point, beehives are only in this canyon. So for the sake of being able to see in this video, we will be turning the gamma up. The first beehive I got was actually in this exact spot. It was just hovering on the wall back there. The second beehive that I've located was just a little bit further in and was a little... There it is, right there. So just a little bit... You can see how low they are. They're not quite like redwood beehives where they're just like up in the frickin' sky. Nope, they're just right here. Easily accessible. There's a couple of things that you can do for this. I'm not doing what I did the first couple of times. So usually what I would do is I would just box in the beehive so the bee can't just wander off, but that didn't bite me the last few times that I did this, which means it'll bite me this time. So I'm just gonna take the beehive out. And hopefully it'll actually crap out a queen bee. So all you have to do to summon the queen bee is just simply attack said beehive. Though, before you do it, I would recommend at least using the bug repellent in case things go awry. You really don't want to have the bees, well, murder you. So let's just see what happens here. And then you immediately want to go away. Just get the critter away, reset aggro, let them think about life, and then you can run back in. So I'm actually going to leave the wyvern back here because I don't really need it. I'm going to leave the jerboa too, just to be completely safe. So I have the bug repellent active. I have the rare flower ready to go. So as long as the queen bee actually spawned... Oh wait, no, it did. It's right here. So you just have to make sure that she doesn't aggro on you. And that's it. That's all you have to do to get a bee. So we had honey trap. This one will be, I don't know. I can't think of any other bee names. I'm not good with coming up with like nicknames for animals, like little cutesy names. I'm not good with that. I come up with other types of names, so what if we call it Bethany? There, that's the best I can do. But anyway, that is the full process for taming a bee. It's literally just that easy. You can see when you tame it, all the little guards become friendly. You can't do anything with them. They just die naturally. So once you have your bee, all you have to do is collect your bee. You have your bee. That's literally the entire process for getting a bee. There's some things that you can do differently. Like I said, you can build a box around the beehive so when the bee pops out, the bee is trapped inside the box. It makes it easier just in case it wanders off. You can also use different creatures. Dire bears are usually number one. There are no dire bears on this map though, so I just use Tuki, which is way overkill. You don't need to throw away your companion pet doing the other stuff. I was just trying to be safe because I didn't want to have a failure on a video. And that's it. That's the entire process of a bee. There's not really much else to it. If make sure to check your own maps, see where they spawn, and don't overkill the beehive. Make sure to not attack once the beehive is broken. If you attack again, you may kill your queen bee. They are made of tissue paper. And then once you have your bee, depends on what mods you have active. What you do with the bee can be completely different from server to server. If you're using base server settings, if I remember correctly, you just plant the bee down somewhere and it turns into a hive. In our case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shove it into our soul terminal, and it will passively generate honey for us, which is great because I just got absolutely sick and tired of making rare flowers on the other server. So let me turn the gamma back down so we're not blind. Drop that in there. You can see I already had the honey trap in there, and you can see they have already started the process of generating honey. It is extremely slow, just so we're clear. This is not a fast process, even with a mod. The process of generating honey is very long, very slow, and if you aren't using soul terminals, this is another thing too. If you are not using soul terminals, they will spoil very, very fast, even in a refrigerator. Why? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, because honey is like supposed to be this thing that doesn't spoil. Or like, you know, they find it in these like ancient tombs. I remember that article from a while ago. They find it in ancient tombs and it's still edible. Like, I mean, I don't understand why the spoil timer for this is like 10 minutes. Like, what in the world is this? It's not honey, it's something else. Anyway, I digress. So that's the first part of this video. We have that. The rest of it is going to be dependent entirely on the cooking station over here, which I'll explain here in a minute. I'll at least say right now that what I have done is we are going full overkill and we're just using exceptional or extraordinary kibble. Extraordinary kibble works for all critters, regardless of what kibble type they're supposed to take. It requires you to have 2 UDs, which is kind of a pain. I already have the 2 UDs. We have our egg generation going. But the big thing is, and the reason why I do this instead of the other ones, is because of jerky. Making jerky is such a pain. I hate it so much. I passionately hate making jerky. So that's why I use that, because for me, extraordinary kibble is easier and less of a headache. So like I said, we'll be back here in a second once we've actually gotten our bees to kick out some honey. And then we will be going out and getting the Styracosaurus, and I will explain what the Styracosaurus is, and where it came from, and why it exists. So I'll be back in just 1 second. And with that, we're back. All right, so we got the bees, we got the honey, we now have the kibble created, so we can continue with what the point of today's video was supposed to be, which is actually getting the Styracosaurus. So before we do this, I should explain what the Styracosaurus actually is. For Kraken's Better Dinos, one of the mods that we have, he took the trike and reformatted it to make it a bigger creature, something that can more compete with a Rex or something like that on that scale, basically. It's not as good as a Theory, but it's way stronger than what the normal trike is. So to try and balance the game out even more, he needed something to fill in the gap left behind by the removal of the original trike, which is where the Styracosaurus comes in. So the Styracosaurus should, on paper, be identical to what the other trike was like originally in the base game, but not honestly sure about that. The basic gist is, well, I'm stumbling over my words here, is we're going to get a Styracosaurus, we're going to see what it does, we're going to see how it works. I just want to get one so I can say I got one, because I haven't gotten one before, but I've always been curious about what they do. I've already scoped one out, if it's still over there at least, so we're going to go over and see if we can find that, and then I'll be right back. They're boloables, so we shouldn't need a trap. We'll see if I regret that or not. I'll be right back. As I'm flying over here to collect the Styracosaurus that I believe should still be over here, I did go get a Paleoarc Raptor, so we can make the regular simple kibble if there's something that is easier for simple kibble, just because I like saving resources, and honey is just one of those things that you never really have enough of between the sweet vegetable cake and the actual extraordinary kibble stuff. Alright, again, I'll be right back. Ooh, that's a pretty thorny dragon. I'll be right back. I'm going to find the Styracosaurus. I don't remember exactly where he was. I just know he was somewhere over here. 1 second. I just remember he was somewhere over here, but they're so hard to see. I think he was further back that direction, honestly. There's a Gallimimus over there getting its ass kicked. Is that him? That might be him. No, that's not him. What the fuck? Is that him? That's not him. Everywhere I go, I see his face. I remember it was a he. I'm gonna have to find a different one, I think. I don't know where that one went that was over here. Let me just... Why is it lagging so bad when I go in this direction? Alright, so I've been looking around for a hot minute here to see if I can find him again. I haven't found him. I don't know what happened to him. He was in this area somewhere. I've gone in the spots that I thought I remembered he was at, but I haven't found him. So I'm going to take a wild guess and say that something killed him, Because I have noticed that these things are pretty... I'm not going to use the word wimpy, but definitely not the sturdiest things. I'm going to go and find a different one. I know there were more up north, so I'll be back in another second. I never thought it'd be this hard to find a Styracosaurus. I'm about to end the recording and restart it just so I don't have to sift through all the footage. There we go. Okay, here we go. This is one we can get. What about that one? Oh, wow. Wait a minute. I'll get this one just because it's the higher level one. Yeah, there's some high levels right here. What is that? There's a 125 on a cliff, and it's purple. Wow, I have choices now all of a sudden. I'm just going to get this one, and I'm going to hope that he doesn't aggro everything around it. I could get a second one, and then we could just have the eggs. Right? So you're 135, you're 125, and you're 130. There's another one over there, too. Okay, we're just going to get this one and call it a day. Like I said, I just wanted one so we could see how this works. Or not really see how it works. I just want to see what the stats are on this thing. So he should be bowlable. Unless the internet lied to me. 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 This is not... Okay, so I should have built a trap. You remember where I said I'm probably going to regret not building a trap? Woo! He's down. Okay, good. Okay, well, we're not going to talk about any of what just happened. Yeah. So, yeah, I screwed up again. Because I'm a dunce. So, yeah, apparently bolas don't work on them. I looked this up beforehand. Like I said, this is the first time I've actually tried taming one of these little guys. I've always just, like, read about it, and I haven't really done anything. I've just kind of ignored them. They don't really affect me at all. I trusted the internet to not lie to me. The internet lied to me. And yeah, we adjusted. We got it. We're good. So we'll just wait on him to tame. It shouldn't take too long. He's got some extraordinary kibble in there. So it should pop out. What is that? 203 or something? I don't know. I don't math fast. I kind of want this one. I know that it's 5 levels lower than the one over there, but look at the color on this one. This one's so cool looking. What if I come over here and I like stand on a rock and just like shoot him from afar? What happens? That's fine, right? Let's just do this. Let's just shoot him from a rock. If anyone's watching this and they're like, I want to learn how to tame these things, don't do what I'm doing. Just make a trap. Just make a 3x3 trap, put a wall on it, and then just be fine. And you don't have to deal with any of this nonsense that I'm currently dealing with. I'm just lazy. This is literally all just, I'm lazy. All right, and he's down. We'll fly away and lead the other one away, and then we'll come back here in a second. Just give me a minute to lose aggro. I wonder what saddles these use. I have absolutely no idea what saddles these use. Man, that one's pretty. I would love to get him, but I don't have enough kibble. Why is that one still aggroed? You go away. Bruh. Okay, hang on. Trick. There's a trick. If anybody needs to de-aggro on something and you have a flying mount, what you can do is you can fly straight up in the air. It will unload all of the critters, and then you can just fly back down and reload them, and they won't be aggroed anymore. This is what you do when you try to tame a Dinotherium, which will be another video. We will do a Dinotherium video before the end of this. I really do want to get Dinotherium. Where is my critter? Where did he go? Oh, there he is. He's over there. So yeah, we'll do Dinotherium eventually. For now, let's just get the Styracosaurus loaded up with some kibble. Why'd the ground shake? Okay, it was just delayed from, I guess, the wyvern landing or something. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm not going to do anything interesting. Actually, let's do a wyvern trench run. Let's do a wyvern trench run and see what we'll get. So I'll be right back. Okay, I lied. I'm not going to cut the footage directly to the trench. I just wanted to throw this in here real quick because this thought kind of occurred to me. We have a ton of wyvern eggs now just because I can't help myself. I've just been doing this constantly since we got Tukey because it's fun. What I am currently trying to find is I am trying to find a high-level lightning wyvern egg because the lightning wyvern is just insanely busted compared to all the other ones. Fire wyverns are okay. Poison wyverns are kind of seem like the worst, but the lightning wyvern breath attack is absolutely ludicrous. So I really want to get a high level lightning wyvern egg, and then I can start breeding up, and we can eventually get like a Giga Chad lightning wyvern, and I'll be happy. So here we go. I'll cut back here in a second when I find something cool. All right, we're gonna have to go back the other way. It's a poison wyvern. I don't understand how there hasn't been an egg on this side yet. Like, that's crazy to me. This side's just... Oh, what are you? Stop it. I'm gonna go check where that 180 was hovering around. We're gonna go back and look at that for a second. If I cut this footage into the video, it means that 180 actually crapped out an egg, and this is like anticipation rising for it. And I promise it's not gonna be a complete bait. So the question was, where was that at? Oh shit. Yeah, don't worry about it. We're definitely not in danger or anything. This is fine. Alright, and we're back. There's nothing to show off. I did the run back through the trench back and forth a couple of times. You're not even going to see the footage. There's no point. There was nothing exciting. I saw 2 wyvern eggs, and that was it right now. There were no other nests. So I presume that I'm probably going to see a nest explosion at some point tonight. And we might end up getting a lightning wyvern egg off stream. There's a couple of lightning wyverns in there. I'd really like to see them lay eggs. There's a couple of 180s. I think there was also a 185 as well. So, like I said, I'll just keep monitoring it, and at some point we'll switch to a lightning wyvern, and then we'll really start kicking ass. Nothing wrong with Tukey, but I'd really like to get a lightning wyvern. All right, I'll be right back. And there we have it. That's it. That's the Styracosaurus tamed. It was no big deal at all. We good. We got 202 and a 187. So we will take both of these. I'm dying. Oh, I'm starving to death. Anyway, we'll take both of these. I'll pick up that raptor on the way back, and we'll get a saddle on these and get an idea for how these work. Just another side note, I'm back again. It's funny to me looking back through this footage, or not even, I'm not looking back through this footage. I'm looking at how long I've been recording for, and already I'm almost up to 25 minutes worth of footage, and I think there's only 5 minutes of this that's actually going to be usable. The rest is me flying around and not really achieving much, so... That just gives you guys an idea of how much time actually goes into editing this, is that I'm going to have to spend like 15 to 20 minutes just to get this down to 5 minutes to cut out all the crap so you guys don't have to sit there and see it. So, alright, like I said, I'll be right back. We're going to take this raptor and we're going to put him back in base so he can start making some eggs for us. Alright, we've made it back to base, and first things first, so I can stop hearing my character moan like an idiot. There we go. Okay, let's drop off the raptor, and then we're going to figure out what saddle the Styracosaurus actually needs. I don't know what it needs. What are... Is that the conga venator making that noise? That noise is wild. Anyway, I don't know what the Styracosaurus needs. I don't know if it shares. It doesn't. Why is that level 30? That doesn't seem right. That feels like that should be lower for what it is, right? If that's an actual replacement for the trike, why is that level 30? Yeah, it's in here. Okay, so this is the Better Dinos workbench. This is where a couple of things are made at, and apparently the Styracosaurus is one of them since it's specific to that mod. Awesome. All right. We finally have our Styracosaurus saddle, and we will slap this on one of them. I guess we'll slap it on the higher level one, which I think is the female, right? Yeah. All right. What are you two doing out here? Did you lay another egg? You laid another egg. That's why you're making funny noises. Why do they make noises? Now, let's check this out and see how it works. This is like the most anticlimactic thing, because I think this is literally just going to be a trike, and that's it. Alright, so here we go, Styracosaurus. First impression is it's more interesting looking than a trike, that's for sure. It is the same speed as a trike, which I expected. Now let's see what its harvesting is like. Okay, not as good as a trike, but very commendable. That saddle should not be as high up in the tree as it is. I think that's a mistake. Or an oversight, and that probably needs to be dropped down a little bit. We'll probably edit that on our server specifically. If you're watching this for advice on your own server, if you have Better Dinos installed, I'd highly recommend dropping this, because I'm under the impression right now that 30 is too high. Let me do one thing real quick. Okay. Wow. Do trikes normally do that much damage at this level? I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. Okay, I redact everything that I said about lowering the level on this saddle, because holy crap. What in the world? What in the world? I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to fight these guys. I just want to see what they're up to. So I need stamina, of course. The Parasaur's about to die because he's headbanging in the wrong direction. He's having a day. Oops. Oh, and now he's running. It does. It impales? What? How much damage do I take from the front? Oh, I do revenge damage from the front. Oh my god. He's like, thank you for saving me. Psych. It's more like under new management. Wow. I'm really impressed. This dino is actually disturbingly strong. This doesn't feel like... So if you read the Better Dinos guide and kind of some of the notes about Styracosaurus, the stuff that I read about it said that this was supposed to fill the gap left behind because of the trike buff, but this feels like it's stronger than the original trike by quite a lot. So I'm kind of wondering if there's... I don't know. Something about this doesn't feel quite right. But it's really, really strong. It is insanely strong. If you are in early game and you have Kraken's Better Dinos and you need something that can just get you some berries and can fight other creatures for you, this is definitely your dino. That damage output is stunning. It's got pretty reasonable bulk. Not a great amount of bulk, but enough to get you by. It's pretty fast. Its stamina usage looks okay. Its weight is kind of okay. This is just all around kind of a nice average creature that will let you kind of dominate the early game. It's not going to go around taking out Rexes. It honestly probably could, though. Probably could. Honestly, this creature could probably do it. If it was a low-level Rex and you had a high-level Styracosaurus, you could probably do it. But either way, this creature definitely seems like it's worth a tame if you don't have one and you're in the early game. Like I said, if you're late game, probably don't need them. They're at least interesting enough. I'm glad I got it because now I can satisfy my curiosity of all that stuff. We don't have to think about it anymore, what we might be missing out on. That brings it into this, though. We got the Styracosaurus. We got the bee. That's another thing off of our list of what we wanted to achieve on this server. I don't know what the next thing will be on stream. I know that I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow. We're doing some I am doing some more building stuff with the aerodrome that I mentioned on some previous episodes. I also know that there are some other tames that we need to get, and we need to get to the point where we're actually going down into dungeons and stuff. Basilisk might happen tomorrow. The Basilisk might actually be a thing tomorrow, but we'll see. I have everything set up for it. We just gotta wait a little bit, and we'll figure it out. Depends on what Daedalus' availability is, and it depends kind of what I'm feeling tomorrow when I get home from work and how tired I am, etc., whatever. Nobody cares. Anyway. So with all that being said, I think that's enough for this video. I hope it was at least interesting to watch. I hope it was informative for the Queen Bee stuff and for the Styracosaurus both. Yeah, that's all I could think to mention. So with all that being said, I will catch you all in the next one. Cheers!